Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Warped, a completely unnecessary Star Trek podcast, where we do unasked-for audio commentary of Star Trek episodes. Here are your hosts, Shawn.
Get me to my regular doctor. They're familiar with my weird, things.
Matt.
It's completely bonkers, and I didn't understand what was happening like 80% of the time, but I loved it.
Jake.
His abs unfurled.
Philippe.
I don't have honor! What's the point? I want to live and sing and dance.
Erin.
This show is so good, we're just like watching it.
Min Win.
Would you fuck, marry, or kill me?
All of
I
that.
would do all three. All three in that order.
And May.
Dear Diary, I kissed an android today, and he told me he felt nothing.
Make it so.
We're back. It's been a while. We've been on hiatus, but we're back.
Yep.
We've come here because we want to finally fucking finish season 5. It's only taken us 18 months, but that's all right.
Season 5 is worth it.
Today we're watching season 5, episode 25, The Inner Light. Many thought to be the best episode of Star Trek The Next Generation.
And therefore, the best episode of Star Trek.
Sure.
Maybe, by extension.
If you move your fat head out of the way, Jake, I can get the thing started.
Damn.
I got 45:33 on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
Ever since you've seen Fact Stacks, you are just way more aggro.
Yeah.
You solve your problems.
It's all about family, you know.
Yeah, and live in your life.
Is there that rap music in that movie?
Gasolina. Now did anybody else watch the episode?
Oh,
Yes.
I've seen it in there.
I mean, I watched it like a month and a half ago when we were originally going to do this recording. But I think that what this civilization does to Picard is one of the cruelest things anything anyone ever done.
Right.
For the lamest reasons.
For the lamest reasons.
I'm intrigued.
I know.
I mean,
I think
it's
the reasons are semi-noble, or
Okay,
No,
but they're very selfish reasons.
yeah,
it's like, remember us. is
Yeah.
basically-
Yeah,
I mean, it's effective.
it worked,
yeah.
but my God, this poor man, what he's got to live with the rest of his life.
I know. All right, so the captain just got zapped.
Zapado.
Yeah.
They found a thing and he got zapped. And then he woke up and this lady was touching him.
Which is,
And there's soft pink gels going on right now.
yeah,
It's like Diane Sawyer's interviewing them or something.
exactly.
Yeah. Very daytime talk show.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh, he thinks he's in the holodeck?
yeah. He's like, oh, this is exactly like my softcore
Yeah.
romance.
Ooh, he's wearing the
Holodeck.
V-neck
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
He's like, this V is not nearly deep
Yeah,
enough.
that's
This
true.
is not mine.
We don't see his navel.
He's got the V-neck and the no arms, no sleeves.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the no sleeves look too.
I mean, it's like they knew him.
Sun's out, guns out, right,
Yeah.
Jean-Luc?
Yeah. So if
I
Connery
like the
played
batik.
Luke, how do you think he would handle this role? I'm asking Jake for a live commentary from Sean Connery.
What's happening?
We're watching season 5, episode 25, the penultimate episode of season 5. The Inner Light, original air date May 30th, 1992. Picard awakes to find himself living in a small village where he is a well-known member of the community who is suffering from a delusion of being a starship captain. Aaron, what do you think the IMDb rating of this episode is?
Well, I heard this episode is trash, so
Yeah.
Space trash.
Nobody likes it.
I'm going to say 8.9.
Going high. Anybody want to try?
9.3.
Ooh.
7-7.
9.4.
9.4.
Wow.
By
Cool.
Poochin, Jake's answer.
Yep.
Philippe has won.
Well, I was going to
Typical Philippe.
take that answer.
Steal somebody else's answer and then win.
Wait, I stole nobody's answer.
He added a 0.1.
I handed a 0.1, which is an infinite distance between a point.
So a couple of cool things about this episode. The kid who plays his son at the beginning is actually Patrick Stewart's son.
Oh.
Wow.
Gross. That Nepo baby.
Start him early.
Yeah.
It won a Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation.
What's that?
Sci-fi and their science fiction awards. But not just TV, like
I
books.
like the
sounds,
print jobs on this.
You like
Look at the-
you like the poofy pants?
Yes, I do. He wears it well because he comes from, Shakespeare plays. So
Yeah.
he can pull off that kind of.
It's like he's the genie in the new Aladdin movie.
We've got a bit of a tie-dye wash on all these pieces
Yeah,
of
I like it.
clothing.
I mean, this episode to me, it's a good episode, but it's a good episode because of him.
Yeah.
He's just so good at it.
Yeah.
Doing his thing, and
He looks extra ripped too. It's like he knew he was gonna have his guns. But that Bay Nation, like he just
did some extra push-ups during the week.
I think he's been I think off camera he's got like some 40-pounders and he just like does some reps real quick before each shot because he is looking swole.
So this lady is saying, you're my husband, and you had like an episode,
A terrible fever and
yeah,
stuff like that.
and he's like, no, you've kidnapped me. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's sort of an interesting start because obviously we don't know what the hell's going on either.
But there's some tree planters.
They're planting a tree.
And it takes, you only think it would take maybe one person to plant a tree, but on some planets, on their planet, it takes a village.
Yeah, well,
This is where that saying comes from.
That's what they do in this village. Like on a Sunday, they all gather around as a community and plant a tree in the park. This is their going to the football game.
That guy.
Yeah, he's
So that's that guy. I almost remember him from Office Space.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Almost.
You almost remember him.
Well, that's what I remember him most from.
Oh, okay.
Is
See, he's jumped to conclusions.
yeah, exactly.
We
correct.
just watched that recently.
Does it hold up?
I think so.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I love that movie.
We showed it to the little one, and he.
Do you like it?
I think he enjoyed it. He thought some parts were hilarious, and then some parts were just like.
I would think
Maybe
kids
you need to
wouldn't-
work in an office first.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what kids who've never had a job would think of that.
I mean, he got the absurdity of it all.
Sure.
The TPS reports.
Yeah, he could see that being a thing. He likes it when they go gangster on the printer.
Sure. Well, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's
PC
Who
load
amongst
letter.
us? I like that they all look like they're in a cult because they're all wearing these matchies.
Mm-hmm. It's like that's the thing about planets in Star Trek is there's a unification on fashion, pretty. So we all
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, you don't want to force the costume people to have to come up with 8 different designs of a costume.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
they
There's a lot of subcultures.
All they
and
do is they get about 8 different types of fabrics and then make the exact same outfit for everybody, so they don't have to work too hard. Yeah. Well, no, it's
You get it. Like they're somewhere different, and this is like what they're sort of like.
Here they get to wear silks.
Earth is the only planet in which people are different.
Yeah.
Every other planet, everyone is exactly
the
the
same.
same.
They
We've
have a
talked about
uniform.
The
this.
entire
Yeah.
planet is the same bio.
Yeah, exactly. I kind of like that. It makes it easy.
I'm sure that's why they do it that way, because it's easier to write that way.
Yeah. It's named after finally Chris Kattan gets a.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish that book there,
Still working
Aaron?
on it.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, what you got?
I rediscovered it.
Oh, did
It's
you?
still in my collection.
About how far did you get into that book before you lost
A
interest?
third.
Ooh.
How many pages is it?
35.
So you got 10 pages in, and you're like, I'm out. I can't do this
it
anymore.
just falls through your fingers like sand through the hourglass.
I do like the belt.
Yeah, I too.
Although I don't like the seam right down the crotch.
You don't?
No.
Unseemly?
It's damn.
What? Come on.
Come on, man. You can do better than
He
that.
is looking very veiny, though.
I don't know. That's not cool. You need to work a little harder.
Remember that day you gained consciousness in this world and you went for a walk all day?
Yeah. That was today. Come in to our aquamarine furnishings, which match your clothing.
I like it. It's like they went to Pier 1 for this one.
Yeah.
Well, they did have to build a whole bunch of new sets for this episode.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming all the outside stuff is done on a set, too.
All right, guys.
Damn. Cat just
busted in.
Busted. Yeah. He's coming in Die Hard style, kicking his feet through the glass.
Yeah. I kind of felt like I was like in a speakeasy and the
cops were busting.
Yeah, I'm like, I felt all like.
So the big podcat news.
Put your hands in the air.
Our podcat Gus got stuck in the garage all night, so he doesn't like shut doors.
He's experiencing some trauma. He's
Yeah.
staring at the closed door.
Wait, look at this thing.
He's like, I got to figure out how to.
That's a good. I like the big horn on it.
Yeah.
Me too. Totally practical.
Yeah.
Is that supposed to be the handle? Yeah, I guess so.
No, that's
he
the part.
uses the smaller one as the handle. I guess the big one's supposed to be a handle.
That's just stupid.
I mean,
It looks like a weird Viking helmet.
It's like a carapace of a bug that occurs naturally that they just kill and make into a pot.
That thing has killed so many
Hard
people.
to wash.
I love how, because it's just such an easy thing to do, all races have soups. Yeah. No matter what planet they go to, they always serve soup. They do. And anytime they always get served soup.
I think it's because everything else would be super recognizable.
No, it's just so easy.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier. You just put fluid into a bowl.
Wow. Everyone has split pea. Isn't that what Riker made? Was
split pea soup. Yep.
I was like, what is going on?
He's carrying the tradition to the Universal Federation standard.
I like her 80s hair.
Yeah, in the 90s. She kept it going.
80s/90s, early 90s hair.
Yeah.
So did you guys watch this recently?
I think we watched it. We probably watched this one back in whenever.
Okay.
We watched the finale recently, but yeah.
But he's basically trying to figure out how to get communication to the Enterprise.
Yeah,
sure.
And he's kind of like
he still thinks he's been
kidnapped
or something.
Yeah,
he can't figure out what's going on.
We
all know he just been zapped.
He's in the simulation right now, which is basically like he lives an entire lifetime. Like that's what happens, right? He lives an entire lifetime in his mind.
Yeah, that's what happens exactly. And so for the rest of Jean-Luc's life, he's got this memory of a life fully lived in his head.
I mean, at least he got to start in middle age, right? So
I guess he didn't start him as a kid, and the whole reason they do it is so that people can remember their society. And it's like, how fucking...
Is it a little bit of an assault?
I mean... I don't know.
I think the problem is they're like, I guess they don't have videos and YouTube and stuff, so they're just like, they're not going to.
They couldn't come up with a better way to tell you. They couldn't just. They had to force him to live an entire life. They couldn't just have zapped into his head. These are the things our society have. Yeah. Please remember us.
We sent out a probe. It had a bunch of like silver plates on it or something.
Yeah,
like
gold plates. Yeah,
yeah, gold plates. Just
Viger?
Put it on.
Put it on. Viger?
It's
or
Vajiger.
Yeah.
They found Vajiger.
Yeah, just put it on a hard drive, guys. You have.
They don't have that. They can only put their essence.
Hey,
I've seen that shape before.
That's the shape of the thing that zapped him.
Yeah.
and he apparently is an iron weaver.
Mm-hmm. He looks like an
Oh,
iron weaver.
There we go. So now this is what's actually happening to Jean-Luc.
Yeah, they have the. No, I'm not going to go into it because you start pulling apart an episode. Like, when does it stop?
Yeah.
Why? And
that's the whole point.
Who really wins?
The
I don't know.
audience.
I'm just saying.
No.
It just seems to me like for what they're trying to do, there could have been a much simpler plan.
I think for what they're capable of doing, which
Yeah.
is like this thing where they take over a person's mind for like and simulate an entire life
in their memory.
That's-
Yeah.
I
They couldn't come up with a better plan for letting their society, letting the whatever things their society did to the universe.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the thing is, like, you wouldn't feel what it was really like. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're sort
I
of
understand that, but Jesus Christ,
I
how
mean-
important is your fucking society that you need to do that
I mean,
to
it's a whole
somebody?
society. I think
I
that's their point. That
yeah.
They're just like,
this is it. This is all
this
that's
is-
left.
this
I
is
would
all
be
that's left.
pissed if my society decided that was a good plan to do that to somebody.
Really?
Yes.
If that was,
That's
that was
rude.
the only way.
That's rude.
Well, sometimes you
Because when you think about it, like, well, if the other option was just to like shoot them with it and be like, okay, this is imprinted on your memory now. It's almost like the logistics of it that probably would have just killed them. Just to imprint a whole memory of societies in a person. That's kind of like a death blow thing. The idea of like he had to put him through this kind of dream world coma version to put him through it. It's kind of like a download stage, It's like, putting the flash drive in, copying the files over, having to wait for the progress bar to go from 0 to 100%. And this is just the progress bar loading.
I think it's a poetic story, and I think it's a great sci-fi television.
Sure.
Yeah,
All of
but
that
you're right.
is
It's
true.
a bit of a violation,
and it's great because Patrick Stewart is so good. But
Mm-hmm.
the basic concept of what they're doing is fucking creepy as hell.
Yeah, it's a bit
and
minor.
like it
Yeah.
seems to me like I realize he's one person and they're an entire society,
Yeah.
but he is still a fucking person that has autonomy, and you just fucking took over his brain to implant an entire life worth of memories into
I'm
his
saying
head.
that's a good question.
But check out his blouse, you guys.
Yeah, it's changed. Look how he's getting older. So he's like already
And
lived
his
years.
hair's
He's-
starting to
he's been there
grow a
5
little bit
years.
in the back.
He's gotten all
this is-
Gavin
we've jumped
McLeod.
forward in time.
Her hair is more 90s, so she's in the 90s now. So, do you think the Probe is racist in the sense that would this ever happen to like Michael Dorn's character?
So
Worf. What would Worf do if he was like, I'm the only Klingon here, and I'm the only person that's not like white? And
Well, I'm sure that the Probe is racist. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Probe definitely made a choice here. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Choice.
it's like it's a good thing that the Katans are basically look like humans with cultish fashion sense. So it's gonna work.
But unfortunately, they decided to take Picard, so we don't have to watch.
They all look
Riker
like they're
try
at
to
a yoga
hack through this
retreat.
Episode. They're really proud of that tree. It's gotten big.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You remember when I planted
They
that tree?
haven't planted another one in 5 years. Apparently, that's the only tree in town.
Yeah.
But hey, I have a question though. Like, maybe because it's his people. But do you think it was unfair how, like, in the current Superman movies, there's kind of like the whole plot line of how the DNA of all the Kryptonians that were like that had died is like imprinted on Kal-El's DNA. Have you seen of that?
Sure.
Do you think that's a violation
Yes.
of him? Okay.
Are they solving cold cases?
Yeah. Like,
Then I'm in.
It's like they've 23 and me the entire population.
So do you the use of using any survivor or any type of like
if they're not
avatar
given a
person?
choice,
it's all about
it's a
consent
violation.
Okay.
If you had asked John Luke if he could do this, I'd be perfectly fine
And
with
John
it.
Luke was
but he
not
didn't get a
inebriated,
choice,
which is rare.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because he does like his wine.
Yeah. But he has to be
But it has to be sober consent.
Okay. All right.
So
I see that.
if there's another race planet who couldn't build that probe, but could co-opt that probe and then violate that probe, knowing that probe was a violator, is that okay? Like if that probe could supplant,
If they wiped it
it wiped it.
Completely
and then put their
different
own-
info.
Yeah, put their thing about the Martans.
Well, that would be, that would if the same concept is that now that probe is going to send their species, their society into somebody that doesn't have consent. That's just as wrong.
But what if theirs, when they take over, they ask before they...
Then that's okay. Because they haven't... I mean, they've taken over a probe, a non-sentient thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's a beautiful story, and I really love his performance. But they would have the ability to make videos. I think if they can launch a space probe.
I know. I'm like, this sounds like a pretty advanced probe.
Yeah. It's like
They're sort of like, I mean, it's kind of woven into the story that they're not really technologically advanced in some ways.
Yeah,
like,
he's an iron weaver.
Yeah. Which basically means he makes lockets and stuff.
And a flute.
Yeah, and a flute.
And he plays a flute.
And those doors.
He still has that flute on Picard.
Yeah.
I think it's a recorder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's in his storeroom with all the other Enterprise stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that's really nice about this story is like, it's a little bit, the way they use the music and they call back to it is, it's for, for Star Trek.
Well, and it's also like to me, the reason why I think it's, if it had been somebody else, maybe not, but the fact that it's Picard, whose like whole thing is like choosing to have the life of the stars versus having a family.
Yeah.
Like it's such an important part of his story.
Right.
Right? And then they implant this memory of him living an entire life where he was a father and a grandfather and lived this life with his family. And then to wake up from that, have that memory in your life, and then on top of that, all of the feelings that you have about that shit in the first place, I'm surprised that it doesn't cause more problems.
Yes, this is
since it's never mentioned again.
Yeah, you mentioned he keeps the flute, but it's like this is the flute that I keep for
about my other
the
life.
wife that I never talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to because this would be like, if this happened to you, this would be literally the most significant event in your life.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it would traumatize you. The PTSD someone would have from the event that just occurs would be catastrophical.
Yeah. I think it's why it's like almost like a short story that gets adapted into a story.
Sure, yeah. I think somebody had this idea for,
and it's such a great idea. It's such a
yeah.
great premise.
I mean, it's like I said, from a pure storytelling, it's beautiful, and like you say, all the performances are great.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
And he does a great job because he has to get older, and he plays him as an old man, and there's also kind of a cool environmental bent to the whole story is why the
planet is
dying.
Oh, there! She's so happy. He's finally saying that he's willing to have kids.
Yeah.
John Luke, the one who always used to look at Wesley with disdain. He's like,
gonna bang it out.
It took him like 10 years, but that's how long it takes John Luke.
I bet she must just be amazing in bed, and that's the memory he latches onto, so that he doesn't have PTSD about everything else. He's like, man, she was amazing.
He's like, well, I definitely don't need a family now. I've been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, don't wake me up right at this moment, right now, because this is where we're getting it on.
Even the probe is like 20th century technology to us because they used a solid propellant.
Yeah. It's like, that's the thing. It's like they're super old school. Like their one technology is doing this like imprinting.
They put all of their technology into imprinting on somebody's memory.
That's what I do in Civilization. I only pursue, when I play the game Civ, then I only pursue this technology. And so right when I'm about to be crushed, I imprint onto them, everybody, and then they're all like, "Oh wait, we're all this race." Now they don't want to kill me anymore because they're just like, "Oh, that's who we are."
Genius.
It is.
Does that work?
No, I just made that up. All the Civ gamers are like, "That's not technology in Civ." Oh, now there's this little kid.
Now he's got children. She's got a pretty pink dress on. So that you know she's a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, he's starting to get He's starting to get the Ben Franklin look.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't know if that's his son, or if it's when he's a little bit older.
I think it's when he's older, right? I think I remember reading.
But he's going to town on that skin flute, man.
Mm-hmm. Is that what that is?
It's not made of skin.
That's how they call it there.
That's what it's called. It's called a skin flute.
It's called a space dong.
Don't fidget.
No.
Stupid kid.
My axe and
this
my
is the
bow.
ceremony. Your dad's playing the flute right now.
Yeah, we have to always listen to when he plays the flute.
Daddy plays the flute all the time. I mean, that's all he does these days.
Yeah. When is he not playing that flute?
When he's making you a brother.
Dad, do you think you can do some metal weaving
So
today?
he's named a child after Jump to Conclusions guy who died.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so annoying to zip that jacket up. Can you imagine? Think about it. Think about actually zipping that little piece.
The little flap
Oh,
together.
Yeah.
Those two, trying to get those two flaps to
Yeah.
come out.
I know.
Impossible. I bet it's just sewn on.
Oh, let me touch your head, little girl.
Mm-hmm. That's how you know she's his.
This is mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I like her. I like the mom's dress, the wife's dress.
Yeah.
It's got those weird boob flaps on it for some reason.
Flattering.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
They
where
really
they are.
mixing some weird colors. He's got like a red and green shawl on top of a purple dress.
You know, when they put together like their whole like art like essence, they're like, yeah, it's a little bit of a whitewashing of history. They're like, yeah, everything is so.
You think that all of this is like in the brightest light they
Yeah,
could possibly
exactly.
show?
And the pink gels,
Yeah,
man.
exactly. I mean, I've never seen like a party where like the grown-ups and like everybody's like happy, just like where's the crazy cousin out back holding like
Oh no. Uh-oh. What's going on?
So how much time's actually going by?
I don't think that much.
Yeah.
It's only like I believe that the whole thing takes place within an hour.
Yeah, it's certainly within like
I think what's happening on the Enterprise is actually happening in real time.
Yeah.
For the episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would be
I don't
really
think they
messed
ever
up if
I don't
it
think
was-
they ever say.
I think they might.
Do they?
I think they might at
They
the
say
end.
he lived a lifetime in an hour.
I
or
think
2
he
hours,
asked like,
something
how long has it been?
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah. Let's stay tuned and see what happens. See how much it is. But I think it's like, yeah, they say.
So they stabilized him. He's got isocortical functioning.
Okay, I think that is kind of messed up about the probe. Is like if you try to interfere with it, it tries to
kills
kill you.
the person?
yeah.
Yeah.
And in both worlds, it's like
Jeez.
Oh, she's somebody too.
Jesus.
how dare she?
Do you recognize that actress?
Candace Cameron.
I know it does have that look.
She has a Cameron look about
She's got the hair.
It's not, by the way.
Yeah.
Audience at home.
She is.
Readers.
Her name is Jennifer Nash.
Okay.
I've heard that name before. What else has she
She
done?
was in a lot of things.
Oh, did we talk about?
She was on Silk Stockings.
Hell yeah.
Did we know that guy's name? That guy?
Oh, Richard Reel.
Richard Reel. There you go.
She was on Blossom.
I was gonna say.
I've heard of that show.
Was she the best
She was
friend?
on Full House.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
So she was Cameron adjacent.
Yeah.
Did she play Kimmy?
She did not play Kimmy.
When Kimmy left the show, they needed another Kimmy type.
So now he's starting to look. He's got the old makeup on.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's looking like Patrick Stewart does now on Picard.
Yeah. Well, then
Maybe less liver spots than this guy's got.
They got it right then.
But they got a hot sun going on this planet now.
Yeah.
They got real skin issues with their sun.
Actually, no. He looks better than this.
He does.
He looks much better.
Well, he's
Especially, he
more
doesn't have
groomed.
the hair is
Yeah.
not all crazy.
Well,
He
he looks
doesn't
like
have the bozo hair.
he looks like a well-aged Hollywood actor.
Yeah, he looks fine now.
His name is.
He doesn't look that much different. Where you can tell the difference with him is in his voice.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the strength behind his voice anymore when he talks.
Captain's log.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not so down here.
There was a child of people we know from school that was doing like a one-person show around town, and Catherine was talking about going to see it, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to see it, but you can go. And she said,
You're like, sounds terrible.
I said, just understand, it's going to be bad. He goes, why? I said, because one-person shows are terrible. She goes, well, I heard that Patrick Stewart one was really good. I said, okay, yeah. Stop right there.
Yeah.
That's the quality of actor that is required to pull off a one-person show. So if you're not Patrick Stewart, don't do it.
Love it.
Because it takes a level.
Yeah.
That's one hell of a telescope he's got there. I thought he
It's-
was an iron weaver. When did he become an astronomer?
Well,
He wove that iron.
He's blending.
Yeah, but he
his
needs glass too.
Well,
Where did he get the glass from?
Glass.
Philippe, where did he get the glass?
The glass mason.
He's not a glass weaver.
Yeah.
He knows the glass. What's not?
This whole
What's
episode
another
is
word
full
for
of
it?
plot holes.
The glass farter.
A glass
The
carpenter.
glass pooper.
Yeah. Glass dancers. They'll take care of it.
There you go.
The glass dancers.
There's us, the glass dancers. We heard you needed glass.
Ever since
I guess the baby must have been his son.
Oh, yeah.
Because they haven't shown him since.
It was an old baby, though.
Yeah.
Damn old babies. Screw them old babies.
They have all the jobs.
Yeah, what is the son's deal? He wants to do something that he doesn't approve of. I forgot. Like being a musician or something.
You're the one who brought the flute into the family.
Yeah.
He's always with his flute.
Got that damn flute.
You're not my son.
You're no flautist.
You're no son of mine.
You'll never be a flautist.
Let's see, what is he going to tell his father?
I don't like these shirts. I never have.
I don't want to be a part of this cult anymore,
I
father.
don't want to call it a skin flute.
It's not all what it is.
He's leaving school.
Yep, music.
Yeah, music.
Damn, wants to be a rock star. Typical teenager. Leaving school to go hit the high notes on his flute.
I don't want to play the skin flute. I want to play an iron flute.
I'm no no influence on you. I'm not really good at it. That is not the standard that we should be hoping to hit.
They're going to discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
That does not look like Patrick Stewart's son. So I'm guessing the baby was Patrick Stewart's son.
Mm.
I mean, he had a baby when he was pretty old.
Mm.
He's no Al Pacino having a baby.
Or
When,
De Niro, right?
Both of them,
De Niro
yeah.
just had one.
They're in a competition
We
with each
we
other?
thought we figured that was the conversation they had in that in the diner in Heat.
Yeah.
They're like making a pact that 30 years from now we'll both have children.
You know, they were talking about how old babies are dominating Hollywood, and
Right.
they both got it quite wrong a little bit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, not babies from old people.
Yeah. Oh, they'll never learn.
Damn Italian actors. When will they learn? Oh, now he's even older.
And now you're even older still.
How old do they get?
Oh, see, now they're starting to talk about. Now he's starting to tell everyone that something bad's about to happen to this planet. We need to start preparing for what's coming because the planet's going to be blowing up soon.
Yeah.
And now everyone thinks he's crazy, just like every other doomsday prepper is. The old person makeup in this episode is where all the money went. Because there's a lot of old people makeup.
Yeah.
That guy's got it caked on.
They're gonna just find.
Well, this is where they're coming up with the plan.
Yeah.
Maybe we could imprint on someone's memory from a probe that we launch into the sky.
So it's too late for them to invent video cameras and start recording. It was just too late. And, you know, they don't like to write. So, yeah. But they're all about imprinting.
Well, now that I see this, now I've decided that now it's even more fucked up. Because not only do they imprint the memory on his brain, they imprint the memory that it was his fucking idea to do it in the first place.
But
Yeah,
it was
that's
Picard's
creepy.
idea, so that's the time travel loophole. He did it to himself.
Ah, well, that's messed up, man.
Because
Now they're really trying to take away blame from themselves. Well, it was his idea the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell?
So it was your idea that we did this. So
These people are fucked up, man. I'm sorry. Now this episode's starting to piss me off.
channel your inner light, man. Channel your inner light.
Okay. But you know his performance very strong, very poetic.
Yes.
One of the best Star Trek episodes of all time.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
I think it's great.
He is great. And she does a great performance too.
Yeah, she's
for like for a cheesy TV show. She's definitely in it.
Yeah.
Like she's giving it. She's
yeah.
locked in.
This was for real forever after this episode.
Yeah, right. The cat is walking on me at the moment.
He kind of looks like the Six Flags guy.
There's no old people at Six Flags. It's all teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Even the people that work there, all teenagers.
Of course. Do you want to work there if you were not a teenager?
No. Oh, no. They couldn't even let his wife live during his memory. He had to outlive people that he loved too. These people are fucking psychopaths that have put this thing into his brain.
Well, I like that they chose his life to be the one that gets remembered. Right? It's like you're gonna choose anybody's. Why don't you just choose somebody who had like a real happy ending all the time? And was like, what's that big flash? And then
Right.
the last thing that guy remembered.
Well, here's the thing. Do you think that they've imprinted the memory of a guy who this guy actually existed as part of the society?
That's the question. Like,
or did they just create a life,
a ficticious
life for him?
I think they just created a fictitious life for him because I feel like he still has like at least some free will. He's still very Picard. You know, he's like building a telescope. He's
Sure. I mean, yes, because even when he wakes up, he still remembers being Picard.
Yeah. They still have that thing.
They put on hats, but those hats are not going to protect them against the sun.
They don't know about the sun can go through the holes in the hat.
They haven't learned that much about technology yet.
They haven't learned how sneaky the sun can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like those photons, they're tiny.
I mean, those correlate to the spots on his head.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever wear Crocs and then get a sunburn? It's hilarious. You just have red dots all
You're
over your feet.
presupposing that I've ever worn Crocs.
Well, Crocs are comfortable. My children, that's all they wear these days is Crocs.
We were all thinking about just on one day as a family.
Going hot, leaning hard into Crocs.
Becoming Croc people.
They're comfortable.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all we wear from now on.
Do they? They're okay to wear at school?
No, they don't wear them to school.
Okay.
Any other time.
Slip-on.
Even like when they're playing like sports, they wear Crocs because they're pretty durable.
Yeah.
To even be able to run in.
Well, if Crocs wants to sponsor this podcast,
Feel free. So now they're like,
All
the
of
ghosts are coming to talk to him and tell him what happened.
Yeah, see, they let you off the hook. Sort of. After you've lived there like 50 years.
Yeah, I mean, how long has this been? How long is the fucking life he's lived?
I mean, his kids are
He had to
pretty-
watch his wife die.
I think it's like been at least 40 years.
He watched that guy die.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's only been like 10 years and like the sun just really cooks, really cooks you.
Really mess with the skin.
I mean, if it was about to go supernova, it takes a while, guys.
Yeah, I don't. Do they ever say what is the problem?
Yeah, they said the sun goes nova. I mean,
It's
that's
just
what Data says when he's.
It's
like,
just the sun.
Yeah, his sun is like.
That's
going
why
to-
it's getting bigger, and
Yeah.
they have to cover up more. They can't be outside. Yeah. See, I'm here to.
I mean, she's got a lot of skin on that boat neck.
And the adult the 90s
It's
hair.
like it's like a play. It's like the
curtain call.
It's like if you get to like 90 and then you realize everybody comes up from your life in a play like, and we were the bullies in middle school. Oh, hey, you did a great job. man.
Well, I will say this: he gets the best revenge of all because he never mentions their society again.
Yeah, exactly.
So even though they imprinted all this stuff on him,
Yeah.
it was worthless.
Well, he
because
has their damn food.
Their
They said-
society is still dead to the world.
They gave us Chris Kattan. Okay,
That's right. That was who was on the probe.
Yeah, exactly.
On Chris
He's like,
Kattan.
You want some cookies?
Wait! I just invented the spiral notebook. We can all write our history down.
Too late.
Oh, the probe's already up there.
So good.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Well,
Talk about tractor beams on probes.
yeah, well, you got to tractor beam a probe every once in a while.
Yeah, at least once. In
How are you gonna get it out of there?
That's college.
Tractor beam.
We've talked about Nomad and what one would do with it.
Yep.
Sure.
Put that one in my collection near next.
And
to
now
Nomad.
he's really fucked up because he was like, I was in this other place and they told me I wasn't that guy.
Yeah.
And now you're telling me I am?
Yeah.
Dude, this happens to him a lot. You get to be like Borg. You get
Yeah.
I know.
20, 25 minutes. That's how long. There you
That
go.
is one of the great sequences of Lower Decks when they're trying to stall the simulator lady. And so they're like, they basically realize that like everything she's ever done has been in a simulator and they've never actually been out in space. So they just start taking them to like black holes and shit that are like super dangerous, but nobody gives it because it happens to them all the time on the ship. But to someone who doesn't actually live on a starship, this is the craziest shit they've ever seen. He's
got his sextant.
He's all,
Did you see that they're
Oh, no.
they're gonna do a crossover episode?
yeah, they're gonna play their characters in real life in Strange New Worlds. I saw the picture of them in their uniforms.
Yeah.
They had Jack Quaid and Tondi Newsom.
Tawny Newsom.
That's awesome.
They're in the. There's like a trailer of the New World season.
Is
the
it?
New
Are they
World
in it?
season.
Are they
Yeah,
in the trailer?
and there's clips of them in it.
This popped out of the probe, dude.
Yeah.
It said, "Give this skin flute to Jean-Luc."
Yeah. And I'm going to interpret that meaning it's actually this thing in this box and not our special code.
How did they know?
Did they say how long?
25 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now that you know what happened there, Aaron, what do you think? Do you think that it was cruel of them to do what they did to Jean-Luc just for the sake of remembering society?
Well, that's like the only thing that they have for them to remember their planet. Like, there's no other records of them, so I don't know. I give them a pass.
So you'd be okay with them doing this to you?
I mean, I feel like their intentions weren't cruel. Like, they gave you a happy life for the most part.
Well, okay, yeah, but they still made him watch his wife die.
Well,
it wasn't 100% happy.
Well, I'm just saying. But you have to live a whole life and feel caring and understand, like, their sort of style. I don't know.
I'm sorry, but this is like right now when he opened that up and saw that flute, a normal person would have just collapsed in a heap of tears and never been the same again.
He's about to do some hot cross buns up
in
here. B-A-G.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Well, it's food for thought.
Tooting on his flute.
Yeah.
It's flute for thought.
I don't know. It's got me thinking about it. It's not... I see where they're coming from.
I'm going to give him a pass on this one.
I'm going to give him a pass.
You guys are letting this, you'd be okay with them doing it to you.
I mean,
that's what you're saying. Because if you're saying you're giving him a pass, you're saying you'd be willing to have him do it to you.
I think so.
I think I'm down with it.
I think I'm down. If
Yeah,
25...
it's a crime they're only capable of committing once.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
All right.
I'm...
Y'all are crazy. Someone fuck with my brain without my permission, you're going to hear about it.
Remove the probe, guys.
Yeah.
Remove the probe. Cancel. Abort.
You hear that, probes?
All right, probes. All right, guys, back off. Yeah, I thought this would convince him that he was
Is that the plan?
I
will forever.
Probes
I'm
retreat.
imprinting the name of my family into your brain now.
Thinking about the character, I think his ultimate takeaway is that was great, but what I do is awesome, and I'm so glad I am who I am, and reaffirmed his identity.
So you think it made him happier in his life?
Yeah,
I think it gave
going
him some
forward.
I think it's like an interesting.
I think you guys are fucking rationalizing this bullshit. Trying to make yourself feel better about liking the episode.
Well, I do like the episode.
It's complex.
Yeah.
If you really
I feel
think
like you're
about
not
it.
meant to like feel one emotion. I think you're supposed to feel like a lot of emotions.
Conflicted.
And it's like how often does a show make you feel like a lot of interesting emotions? No.
I'm not blaming the episode for. I mean,
you're blaming those people. You hate the Catanese.
the fucking Catans.
Yeah.
Chris wasn't the worst thing they brought on this world. I'll never forgive him for what they did to Jean-Luc.
Yeah. You know what? Apparently it was fine because it didn't really bother him that much. And,
Well, he never mentions it again. That is true.
And he got a bomb-ass flute out of it. So, I mean, like...
Yeah, I got a souvenir and a lot of good blouse advice.
On the flute it says... I had an entire lifetime of memory imprinted in my brain, and all I got was this lousy flute.
Yeah.
Hey, he had a 3-hour debriefing with Starfleet to tell him all about it. Like,
Yeah.
so what else is there? It's like,
Yeah.
So what happened? Well, I lived this life. Their planet was hit up with a supernova, so they all died. Okay, what about their culture, their art, their history?
I don't know. They planted a fucking tree when I was there.
There was
fed
some
me
glass
some
dancing.
soup.
I mean,
Apparently, the flute's really important to these fucking people because not only did I play it, my fucking kid played it, quit school so he could play the goddamn flute.
Yeah, I mean, the fashion...
don't
So it was
worry.
a very flute-based society we were talking about here.
Right before he got big, though, the planet blew up. So it didn't really...
He was just about to be the Bruce Springsteen of our planet, and then
He was about to blow up, and then the planet blew up.
Yeah.
Aw, snap.
Yeah.
The fashion was trash. The food was all right.
Yeah.
Right. They had great soup.
Yeah.
And they had this weird thing that had a big horn that you had to handle when you picked it up. I
Yeah.
didn't quite understand it. But wow, what a great society! It was
Yeah.
so important.
You guys
that
should have seen the
they had
door.
printed their memory on me having to live a lifetime of memories was so important for me to tell you about their horn-based cooking utensils.
The crock pot with the spiral horn.
You sound a little resentful.
I know. You sound like you've got some baggage. You need to go into Federation therapy and analysis for the next.
I'm thinking that's what I would have said if I was in John Luke's position. That's all I'm saying.
They really knew how to pick somebody who would just fit right in, though. That's the part of this. Like, what happens if they pick Crusher? Would she have does that simulation adapt itself?
Would it have still been a female-female relationship at that point?
Yeah,
Because
because they don't have a lot of other technology, but they're.
So not only was the probe racist, it was also sexist.
Maybe the first thing that the probe did was like, how about this guy? He's got a dong. Let's take him.
Is he white? Yeah, he's white.
We missed him. We hit the old guy. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Riker just.
They were trying to get Riker, and they got John Luke. Would it have worked with Data?
No.
I don't know why you don't just use Data. Imprint it on the computer. He doesn't care anyways.
They don't know anything about like that kind of stuff.
And Data lives forever, right, guys?
Yeah, exactly.
Data would have been able to save that
They
fucking
could easily download their entire society from his brain.
Or
With
does
John
he?
Luke's got to remember shit. He's like, my wife died for this bullshit.
I don't think the.
And she died while I was playing a goddamn flute.
And it turns out
you were always playing a flute, so everybody died while you were playing
Yeah,
the
be
flute.
more
The planet
specific.
exploded while you were playing the flute. So, jeez. All right. Well, that was a great.
Well, there
one.
you go. The Inner Light.
Yeah.
You can see how I think about it.
One of the best Star Trek episodes.
Maybe the best.
Also one of the best warped episodes.
Yeah. I think it's the highest rated IMDb. I don't think we've ever gone above 9.4.
Yeah, that's high. They're usually pretty
70.
They're
really.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare they get out of the
Yeah.
8s.
Yeah.
But I think the record so far had been 9.3. I think 9.4 is now the highest. But anyways, that's over. Next week we're watching the last episode of season 5. We're finally going to finish this goddamn season. But until then, you can follow us on. Just look us up on Google.
Or you could launch a probe.
Right.
We're gonna do this. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're going to put all our essence into the probe.
We're all gonna jizz into a probe so they have our DNA.
Non-consensually mind bang us for a while.
And then upload all 250 episodes of Warp.
One lucky human on this planet will get it, and then they will have to sort of describe Warp to everybody for future generations.
Yeah, it's like the fashion was terrible, the food is okay.
Yeah, and they're always playing the skin flute.
Yeah.
At least one of them, Shawn.
Hey,
you mentioned it.
I'm not a musician.
No.
Till next week. If you have anything, Google us on Warp the podcast. You'll find our shit.
Yep.
If you want to give us money, go to Patreon. We have a Patreon. You can give us money.
Yep.
And
Not
until
sure what we're
then,
gonna do with it,
my
but-
name is Shawn.
I'm Jake.
Leave.
Aaron.
May.
Thank you and good night.